Alright, Kimbo White here. Strikeforce Nashville on CBS. The crazy thing is, there's 4 or 5 UFC events in between the half dozen UFC events in between the 2 Strikeforce events. But the good thing about the Strikeforce events is they're stacking the cards up to where their shows are badass. So, anyways, this is a hell of a fucking card. It's really impressive, and I'm really excited for it. So excited for it that I'm talking about it before I even put up my UFC 111 predictions, which I'm getting ready to post too. But we got UFC 111 and 112. We got Fight Night 21, and we got the debut at TUF before Strikeforce Nashville. So this is April 17th. It's a few weeks away. But I want to go ahead and talk about the crazy thing is, man, you know, everybody knows how Overeem has been doing Strikeforce. Now, he's coming back. He's officially signed today to fight May 15th. At the May 15th event, he's fighting Brett Rogers. They're supposed to announce tomorrow whether or not it's going to be for the title or not, which I just don't see how the hell it couldn't be. You know, Fedor was already signed to fight Verdum, so there's nothing to do about that. All they can do is give the winner of that fight the title shot. And I'd say Brett gets the fucking title shot because he was the next available guy in line. So, you know, I don't see how. It would just seem like they were protecting Overeem's champion status even more if they didn't give Rogers a title shot. But anyways, the crazy thing is, Jake Shields says even if he retains his title, this is the last fight on his contract. So even if he retains his title and wins this fight against Dan Henderson for the middleweight title, he is going to be a free agent. Which means if he decides to go to the UFC, you know, don't think Dana's not going to throw some money over here to pick up Jake Shields. Who wouldn't? I mean, he'd be crazy if he didn't. Crazy as hell. You know he will. He tried to get Fedor. He's going to try to get Jake Shields. And especially because Dan Henderson, you know, Coker got Henderson. That would just be a shot right back, man. I mean, that would be like a trade for trade. So there's going to be some money thrown this way a couple different times. Why the hell, man, when Strikeforce signed all these early contracts, they should have had better advisors or something. That's all I got to say about it. Shit. But anyways, quick rundown predictions. I'm going, man, I tell you what, I really hate to say it, but, I have to say that I'm going to go Dan Henderson over Jake Shields. And I see Jake Shields, man, he can submit Dan Henderson. And I tell you what, I think the stand-up's good. People think he looks like he's stiff when he's fighting. But I don't see him beating Dan Henderson. And you know, like I said, I think he could submit Henderson. But Henderson's been in deep water plenty of times, and I'm a big Dan Henderson fan, so I'm going to go with him in that fight. You know, I think overall, definitely better stand up, and I think the wrestling in this scenario is going to be good enough to overpower the ground game. You know, if Shields got on top, they could get full mount, get position to pop a heel lock in or something, man. Heel hook, you know, something like along that line, something we can slap in fast. But the bad thing is he's going to have to get Dan Henderson in a bad position first to do that, which means he's going to have to take Dan Henderson down. Or, you know, he's going to have to end up on top of him somehow. I'm not real sure that I see that happening, so we'll see what happens. Gegard Mousasi and Muhammad Kimbo Law. Now this is for the light heavyweight title. I don't really see Muhammad Law beating Musasi. Now Muhammad coming in like 10-0, undefeated. I believe Musasi's undefeated too still. Everybody knows that he came over from M1. This is his second fight in Strikeforce, and he's pretty much dedicated himself to a long-term stay here at Strikeforce. So that's awesome, and I definitely see him. I think these guys are going to stand up. Muhammad Law, I just don't know what he might try to pull out of his ass, but I don't see him beat Musasi. Gilbert Melendez versus Shinya Aoki for the lightweight title. Melendez is impressive, but I'll tell you right now, Shinya Aoki is the Bruce Lee of our time. And anybody who doesn't know who the guy is, Shinya Aoki, Shinyaaoki. Google him, look him up, check him out on YouTube. He's a badass, and I think he's the guy that should take BJ Penn's title, but he won't fight for the UFC. I don't think he'd give him the amount of money to fight for the UFC. There's a lot of bad blood there with Japanese MMA and the UFC, and he just came out the other day and was talking about how the UFC would never succeed in Japan. And then Bobby Lashley's going to get his next fight. He's 5-0 in MMA and professional, coming over from WWE, and it's to be announced his opponent. So I'll probably do an update vid on that. But that's been the last word with Kimbo White, and I'll get my UFC 111 picks up here in a minute.